Welcome to this episode of C.A.S.T. Turkey season. We're out here getting after it. Got our shotgun out here. This episode we're going to explain a little bit more about shotguns. Got Dan Youngblood from the shop. He's going to tell us a little bit more about shotguns, chokes, ammunition. We're going to talk about a little bit of everything, just to give you a good general overview. For now, let's get after it.
Hey y'all! Welcome to Caliber's Aerospine and Tackle, better known as C.A.S.T, brought to you by Second Amendment Outdoors in Corinth, Mississippi. In this podcast, we sit down with influential voices from the outdoor industry to bring you authentic conversations that connect sportsmen of all seasons. From bow hunting for whitetail to crappie fishing on the lake, spring turkey hunting to chasing rabbit and squirrel, we cover it all. Our focus is on real people sharing real stories about conservation. We can't wait to join you on this journey and dive into the world of the outdoors together.
It's Kevin from Second Amendment, here with Dan Youngblood, one of the guys here at the shop at Second Amendment. He's my go-to guy for shotguns. We're in the middle of turkey season, getting ready to roll into dove season. I figure who better to have on but my go-to guy for all my shotgun needs. So they're going to be talking to Dan about different types of shotguns, what we need for them, some of the things that are kind of confusing even to me, and we'll get into there. Dan, welcome.
Kevin.
So we brought some shotguns out here. We got some of our separate ammos. We got some choke tubes. Now, we're in the middle of turkey season. Go-to shotgun for somebody with turkey?
Well, the 20 gauge is really popular, especially for, all age hunters. So,
Yep. And which one we got? That right
something
here?
like this Beretta, automatic, low recoil with the TSS shells. You still get plenty of range out of it.
Okay. Now, TSS shells. It'll run either, right? TSS or your regular like Longbeards?
Correct. Yeah.
Yep.
You can shoot either out of it.
And do you have to do specific chokes for each one, or do you have to change the chokes each time?
No, you don't. Usually both chokes will shoot both shells well. But
Okay. And then it's just patterning your gun to see which one.
Right. Yeah, they're all different. But I recommend everybody patterns one to
Yep.
see how your particular gun's is shooting it.
And then next to that is the 12 gauge retail, right?
That's a 20 gauge as well.
That's a 20 gauge as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's kind of more of an all around.
It's purpose for turkey,
Okay.
shorter barrel, just for, convenience in the woods.
Nice. All right. And that'll shoot, like you said, TSS.
TSS, regular lead.
Okay.
Yes.
And then the Winchester we have here.
It's just a good all-purpose gun, 12 gauge.
That's for your hunter that wants one gun.
One gun for all. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Got a good length barrel on it. Not
It does.
Too long.
It's a 26 inch, so you could duck hunt, dove hunt, turkey hunt.
And
Just
that's a
all
pump,
purpose.
right?
It is a pump.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, because, I don't know if everybody knows about shotguns. We have pump, your semi-automatics, breech load when you're doing your single shot or over and under. Those are more purpose-driven guns.
Right.
More like the over and under is more like a bird gun.
Sporting.
You know,
Yeah.
sporting clays, birds. Whereas this is more of our hunting realm.
Yep.
This is more, turkey hunting, dove hunting. Goose.
Yep.
And goose, goose you'd really want a longer barrel.
Right.
And also with duck, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Which the 26 would work fine for duck, dove. You could pretty much, it's a all-purpose kind of.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now, chokes. Now, on the shotguns, we could see that already that there's different styles of chokes.
Right.
Because this one, I see it's raised up above.
Extended.
Extended up above the top. And then on your standard 12 gauge, I see that it's inside the barrel.
Flush mount.
That's flush mount.
Mm-hmm.
And what I've noticed with people that come in here, they don't understand that a choke tube isn't just a choke tube. You
Right.
can't just drop any choke into a gun.
Right.
You have to get it purposely for the gun.
Right. The thread patterns have to match the gun.
Okay.
There's several styles out there. some interchange with a lot of other guns, but
Okay. And I mean, some of them I see they do the extended even on the ones that are flush mount.
right. So sometimes most of your turkey chokes will extend out of the barrel,
Okay.
and some of them are ported, which that helps with the flight of the pattern coming out of the gun. It does help with the recoil a little bit. But
Yeah. Okay. And the flush mounts, they just standard mount, use your choke key.
Sure. Yep.
Okay. We brought a couple of chokes out here. Now, the thing that always messed me up, we got our code black, and which one's this? This is the Jebs. On the Jebs, if you'll notice on the packaging here, we got a whole bunch of little numbers. Now, that always confused me with chokes.
So this top one here is giving you your, telling you it's a Browning Invector DS, which is for a Browning A5.
Okay.
And this here's the constriction. So this one's 655, and it also shows like a 650, 660. 650 is going to be your tighter constriction. 655 is kind of middle of the road, and a 660 is a more open constriction.
And tighter pattern.
Tighter pattern
would be for like
turkey. Yep.
Yep. And you use your more open pattern for dove or
Yep.
for like goose or duck.
Correct.
And I noticed that we do have goose and duck chokes on hand, and they go,
We do.
They go a little different. They have different patterns in them.
They do.
These are mainly what we have here right now. These are turkey chokes because we're right in the middle of turkey season, so we got bunches of them on hand.
Yeah, they're all purpose driven, so.
Right. I know we carry in Code Black, Jebs, Indian Creek. Do you find that some of the manufacturers don't cover all the guns and you kind of have to jump in between them? Or
On a few, yeah, but most of them cover everything pretty much.
yeah, because I didn't know if some of the shotguns, maybe some of the manufacturers sometimes work with a certain choke company.
Yeah.
And then it
Yeah.
makes it certain for the gun,
Right.
right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. There's some that make more of others,
Okay.
But they pretty much all make for everything.
Okay.
Retays are a little different on some of theirs. There's certain ones that you can get the retay aftermarket chokes in. I know the Jebs is real good about
Okay.
having the retay chokes.
Now, we talked about TSS and your regular shot.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I've noticed on TSS with like their turkey loads, normally I've been a hardcore turkey hunter with number 5, number 6,
In a
long
12
beard,
gauge.
In a 12 gauge,
Yep.
yep. And that was my go-to. I have my 835 Utilomag pump that's killed every
Yep.
turkey I pointed it at.
Yep.
And it's been hard for me to look into this TSS because they're like, oh, you need a blend, like 9s and 10s. And I'm like, why is it not 6?
So the density of that 9 is like the same density as a number 5 lead.
Okay.
So you're getting smaller shot, same density as a bigger shot that we were used to using, and you still get the range out of it.
Okay.
With that being said, you get to pack so many more pellets into that shell that you just get such a good pattern. I mean, it's just a swarm at 40 yards versus
Like long beard.
30, 40 pellets downrange.
Okay.
You got 200 pellets downrange.
All right. And
In the kill zone.
in a concentrated area,
Right.
in that kill
With the
zone.
same density that you used to have in a number 5 lead.
So it'll have that knockdown power.
Sure. Same penetration.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now they're using TSS for dove and
Yeah,
too?
actually, for turkey and duck mainly.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And we have our regular 12 gauge shot. Which one's this? Number
7.5.
Okay, this would be for
Yeah, just a go-to dove round.
that's a good dove round, 7.5. You find I've seen a lot of people coming in looking for 8s.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
7.5.
a lot of people shoot 8 too. A lot of people that shoot skeet will shoot.
That's okay.
Number
the
8.
Sporting clay is a lot of 8 shooting, yeah. And the doves is a lot of 7.5.
7.5 really a good all around. You can hunt anything with it really.
Like rabbit and
Rabbit.
stuff like that. Yeah, because I know
Squirrel.
some guys that are hunting with 7.5 for rabbit too.
Yeah.
Other questions about shotguns. So we talked about the pump. Pump is just your regular, every time you fire a round, you have to put the
Manually,
next
yes.
round in. Right. Your semi-auto, are those inertia driven is what they're called?
So some of them are. This particular model is gas operated,
Okay.
but the Benelli's will be inertia.
All right.
And
I've always heard it as a statement, somebody talking about, inertia driven shotgun.
right.
And I didn't know what that meant.
Right. So it's the recoil off of when you shoot that shell, it's the recoil off the shell is what ejects the shell out and cycles another one in.
Okay. Now that one being gas operated, kind of like your AR platform, you
Right.
would say. It would,
Right. So when you shoot the gas off of it, it's got a port up here, and it makes it eject the shell and cycle another shell in.
Okay. All right.
So the gas operated guns generally got less felt recoil.
Okay.
The inertias are very reliable. You're going to, some of them you do and some of them you don't, but sometimes you feel a little more recoil on them. So generally your gas operated guns are a little less felt recoil.
Now,
They tend to be a little heavier.
yeah. The inertia guns are heavier?
No,
than the gas?
usually the gas operated guns
Okay.
are a little heavier. The inertias are a little lighter.
Now, do you see a big sale in the autos, the semi-autos, or more of the pump for like Dove?
Usually the semi-auto.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And with turkey, I've noticed a lot of the
Yeah,
semi-autos.
yeah.
I know we have some purpose-built turkey guns here that we've put together.
Right.
You see a lot of people using optics for turkeys now.
They do. Scopes and red dots.
Yeah. Yeah.
Probably one of the best enhancements you can do to your turkey gun because it allows you to put the point of aim, point of impact together
Yeah.
and direct all that shot right where you want it to go.
Now, buy a brand new turkey gun. Buy your brand new TSS rounds. Get your target. Where are you starting? Are you starting at 10, 20, or are you stepping it out?
So, yeah, if you've got a scope or a red dot, I'd recommend you get up close with just, some regular Dove loads and get it sighted in and then, step on back. 40 yards is about where you want to
Yeah.
be dialed in at.
Okay, so step it up close.
Yep. Get it dialed in with a
Get it on
regular
paper.
Dove load.
Yeah.
Get it sighted in with it, which here, if we mount the optic, we bore sight it and get you pretty close.
Okay. Yeah, that
A couple
helps out.
shots, you'll be on, and then you can move out 40 yards and start testing your turkey loads.
Now, guns are finicky.
Right,
Every shotgun shoots a different load a different way.
right.
That's what I've been told.
And that's usually the case.
So it wouldn't hurt to pick up a couple different ones, like a small box of a couple different ones.
Right.
Try them out.
Or if you shoot it and your pattern's not what you think it should be, just, try a different
Right.
shell and see.
Right. And then if your pattern's wider than you want it to be, that's when you would talk about
Yeah,
changing the
maybe
choke out.
chokes.
You're getting a good shot, a good pattern, but it's not tight enough. That's
Right.
when you would step up to a newer choke, maybe a tighter choke. And we had said something about, you said something that some of the TSS is actually getting a tighter pattern.
Yeah. In some cases, with a more open constriction versus what the traditional you would shoot, maybe open it up a little bit. Sometimes, if some people are getting better, tighter patterns and, just a more consistent pattern.
Right.
Going a little bit more open.
Yeah, I put a new choke in one of my shotguns and noticed that I had a couple stray pellets, always off to certain sides. It wasn't just hitting right, wasn't striking right, and the pattern wasn't consistent. It looked sloppy for me. I changed out the choke and actually tightened it right up, and also after that I changed ammo because I had old ammo. And that's one of the things, a lot of people buy a bulk ammo and let it sit around. How long should you really let 12 gauge kind of chill out, being that it's only crimped on the top?
Yeah, I mean, it'd be good to use it up in a few years anyway.
Yeah. I mean, I know people that had like their grandfather's shotgun
Yeah.
shells, and I told them you're not going to pattern with that. It's going to be inconsistent.
Right.
What else do we need to know about shotguns?
I don't know.
No? Oh. Don't worry, see, we can chat like this because I can tear
Take it
stuff
out.
out and put it out. So we covered a lot of stuff on them. What am I thinking? We could talk some about slings. Most people sling their shotgun. There's got to be more. We're missing something. What do you think we're missing?
I don't know.
No. You're like, that's your job, right? Okay. Let's get back at. So slings. I've seen numerous amounts of slings. Notice that when people are buying their shotguns, they're buying slings, or are they transplanting their old ones?
Some of both, but generally they just buy a new one.
Yep. I've noticed that actually some of them have really different sling mounting features.
Right.
I've seen a couple that don't have any sling
Right.
mounting features. And we have the studs and all the...
We do, yeah. And also have slings that will fit over your barrel and onto the stock
Okay.
as an option if you don't have swivel studs.
Okay.
But we do sell them, the studs that go on shotguns. Most of your newer ones all are going to come with a sling mounting hardware.
Well, that's cool. Yeah, I mean, shotguns for some people have been such a mystery because they buy the shotgun, they're going to go out and hunt with it, and they find that, wait a minute, this ain't shooting like I wanted it to. And I've seen people that just get aggravated with it. And they don't know that you can actually buy a choke, change your ammo, and there's not a lot of information. So, but we have said that YouTube has a lot of information.
It does, yeah.
So, I mean, we see people coming in, they buy a shotgun, they buy a choke because they've seen it. They've seen someone run this gun with this choke.
Yep.
You see
Already testing it, yeah.
Yep, seeing the
Patterns off of it.
And usually they're shooting this kind of shell, so they want that shell too. You see a lot of that.
They do, yeah.
But
I mean, it just, gives you a step forward in the process to
like
get it started.
This gun, though, is not the gun they were shooting, so it's going to shoot a little different.
It could shoot a little different, yeah.
So, So we,
Always testing is very important.
Yeah. Oh, especially before you go field.
Yeah.
Everything.
Especially with turkey. I mean, it's just.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking when you get that big gobbler in front of you and none of the pellets hit him.
Shoot and miss, and then you decide to go test your gun, and you see that you're got a big hole in your pattern, or you're hitting right or left, or high or low.
Or your optics are off a little bit.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, manufacturers also, I see manufacturers do tests on their YouTube and on their, I've seen them on multiple different sites. They also, a lot of YouTube creators out there shooting different shotguns, different, chokes and stuff like that. Other thing is, though, test it. Get your gun, take it out, pattern it up, make sure you're happy with it. If you're not, I'm sure one of us has some information on what you can do with it.
Yeah, some recommendations.
Yep. But I see the TSS is getting really hot right now.
Oh yeah.
It's starting to outrun the Longbeard and stuff. They've been
it's
making
just
a good run.
Unreal.
Yeah. And they're getting good ranges out of them.
Oh
too.
yeah.
A lot better than some of the Longbeard and some of the other.
Oh yeah, no doubt it extends your range.
Right.
It's a step up in the turkey woods for sure. Gives you the advantage.
Now, have you seen a lot more people going to 20 gauge?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're very popular.
specifically for turkey?
Mm-hmm. Well, and you know, everything in general. A lot of
Really?
people are shooting it at ducks as well.
Well,
Less recoil, lighter guns.
hey, some of us are getting older, all right?
Oh,
You
yeah.
don't want to have rotator cuff surgery after like 6 rounds through a shotgun.
Mm-hmm.
I know my gun, when I bought it, it said it would chamber 3.5 magnums. So I bought a box of 3.5 magnums, put out my target, got up against a post, chambered that 3.5 magnum. Boom! I wanted to see how it would pattern. I still have that box with one shell missing because I went back to my 3-inch.
Yeah.
I don't need to be shooting 3.5-inch magnums.
Yeah, no use in it.
No. So 20 gauge, 12 gauge. Okay. I had a question that I was thinking about. 28 gauge.
Yep.
Is that getting popular?
It's very popular.
And more for bird?
Yeah.
I don't see a lot of turkey guns in 28.
Well, it's getting pretty popular in Turkey.
We only carry a couple, though, don't we?
Yeah, we've got several.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And little less recoil?
Less recoil. They get very good patterns out of it.
Have you seen that more of a youth gun also?
Yeah, some.
Yeah.
But most of it's a adult size gun.
Really? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I've seen the 28s recently in here, and I was like, okay. And a couple people bought a couple of them.
Mm-hmm.
They were shooting trap with them or 5-stand, and
28 gauge seems to pattern really well. I don't know what it is about it. But
with the lead or with the
with everything.
really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And same thing with the chokes. You can adjust your choke to tighten your pattern
Right.
and loosen your pattern. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 20. I've seen those in here, and I'm like, okay, has that been popular? Like I said, I'm mostly on the archery side, so a lot of the gun stuff, I depend on these guys because without them, I wouldn't have a lot of information on the guns. But if they need anything archery, you can come over to me and we'll take care of it. But so I thank you, Dan. It's been very informative. There's been a lot of information in a short period of time. And appreciate you coming on.
Yes, sir.
Yep. Not nervous anymore?
Nah.
No, it's not as bad as you thought it was going to be. All right. Thank you. Thank you for watching. And as always, hunt safe.